All right. Hey, Twisters. So for today's stream, we're going to rank the greatest hockey nicknames of all time. So I've got 40 nicknames queued up here representing all sorts of eras, and we'll see who's at the very top. We're going to be using Tier Maker for this, and I think it's going to be a heck of a good time because, I mean, there are just some great names out there. There are ones that are just so fitting, ones that are hilariously blown out of proportion, and some that are just, I don't know. They're almost so cringy that they're good. But anyway, hopefully we'll have you here for this evening's stream, and hopefully you can stick around for more streams and content throughout the off season. We're also doing some member stuff as well. Hey Dean, how you doing, man? Thank you for popping in. And speaking of popping, I'm going to. Well, first of all, we got to say hi to Cortana. That's the most important thing. Jelly Ramp. That's Theo. That's you, I assume. Jake, welcome back, sir. Cool. We'll get to the rankings in just a couple minutes. And, I just want to make sure that we allow people to join if they'd like. And Cortana, here, do you want to come say hi? I got a treat for you, girl. Here you go, girl. We got Cortana in the building. Hi, good girl. All right, sweet. All right, well, let's see. There we go. And for the record, we're going to be, going with Tier Maker here. If there are any players that I've left out, depending on how the stream goes, we might open it up for more too. But yeah. All right, and I also included a goofy warm up here for Gavin McKenna. What's McKenna's nickname going to be? I mean, you can only have so many Macs in the NHL. And I can only have... That just flew all over my face. Hopefully it's good enough to wear, though. All right. Well, no, that's not bad. Okay. I say let's get going, yeah? So I'm going to be making a poll. You guys know how this goes. I'll make a poll, and we'll start with our first player, and that's going to be Ed Jovanowski. Jovanowski, is that? Yeah, for some reason I was thinking of Bill Romanowski. But yeah, JovoCop, as he was called. Ed Jovanowski. JovoCop. So I think the way we'll do it is we'll do S or A, B, C, or D. Actually, I'm going to do it like this. JovoCop. Hey, Dan, how you doing, man? Thanks for popping in. Jovanovski. Is there? I'm sorry if I'm like totally blanking on his name, but you guys know who I mean. Actually, I think it wasn't he a former first overall pick, Canucks legend. That's right, and played, of course, with the Panthers. I'm trying to think of where else he might have played. Did he play a little bit in Phoenix too with the Coyotes? I think maybe. All right, so you guys let me know what you're thinking here. JovoCop, I like it because it just flows so well. Now with this, we're not going with names where it's just an extension of the player's name. Like Connor Bedard is just Bedsy. We're not going to do really too many names like that. These are ones that are a little bit more creative, I think. First overall in '94. I'm trying to remember, was that Iginla's draft year? Dallas Stars pick Jerome Iginla. I'm only seeing one vote here. I guess people weren't that interested, besides you terrific fellas, in joining us here. But yeah, if you want to just you can type your response in the chat too. We can do that as well if that's more convenient. All right. Well, we've got A or B. A or B. We've got a B and a C. All right. We've got 40 of these to do. So considering it doesn't seem like anyone's really we're not gonna be drawing in any huge crowds. I want to keep things moving, so then that way you're not just waiting for the next poll to go up. And so I'll do B on Jovanovski. How about that? Let's go with that. I mean, compared to the other nicknames on here, I think B is fitting, even though like among the overall pool of hockey nicknames, he would probably grade out higher. All right, next up on our list here is the Russian Rocket, Pavel Bure. We're starting out. It's a very Canucks heavy or British Columbia heavy to start out. The Russian Rocket. And then I know that the next two players are actually from British Columbia, from Vancouver. So there we go. Or close enough. So you can type your votes here. B for the Russian Rocket. So wait, apparently YouTube is telling me that Theo is my number one fan. My gosh. Actually, no, Jake is tied, and then Dean is in third here. B for the Russian Rocket. Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna put him next to Jovokov, not in front, but just past him. Frankly, I think it's overdone. Or C. Okay. All right, we'll keep an eye on how we're voting as things progress here, in case we need to make any adjustments. All right, now we're gonna go to the Grim Reaper, Stu Grimson, and for a fighter, I think that's a pretty fitting nickname. Grimson, known as one of the best in his era, went toe to toe against Bob Probert. I think more than any other fighter out there. It's funny because Grimson was in Chicago and Probert was in Detroit, and then they switched teams. We got to go A for Stu Grimson. I just remember that commercial where he's the phone is ringing in the locker room or whatever, and the coach gives it to him, and it's his little daughter, and he's like singing the Itsy Bitsy Spider to her. It's cute. But anyway. A for Stu Grimson. Okay, I think that's terrific. Yes, him and Proby had some wars, most definitely. Ethan, hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for jumping in here on a Thursday evening with about 50 days left until the regular season for most of our teams out there. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even cut to Grimson. All right. Well, anyway, next up, we've got Joe Sakic. So Joe Sakic is Mr. Clutch. I would say that that's kind of his primary nickname. Also, Burnaby Joe. So Joe Sakic, Mr. Clutch. I know that, for example, he scored one of the goals in Game 7 against the Devils in the 0-1 final. Dan Boo. All right, and apparently somebody wants to make an appearance besides Cortana. Come here. Oh, there we go. We've got Inari here. Mrs. Kitty. Hi, Mrs. Kitty. All right, we're going more towards C tier for Mr. Clutch. I mean, there are ways that you can convey being clutch. Captain Clutch, for example. I don't know if that would make as much sense. But we're going more towards C tier. I think relative to these, yeah, it should be C tier. That's fine. Okay. Thank you for helping me keeping things move. All right, now we've got the Rocket, Maurice Richard. Now, I didn't have Henri Richard on here, who's known as the Pocket Rocket, because that's kind of just based on this one. But think about it this way. There is a trophy called the Rocket Richard, or at least it's referred to as Rocket Richard. So, it's definitely well known. A or S-A. Anybody else got a thought on this? Mrs. Kitty, do you have a thought on this? A, the original. It is one of the nicknames that is still used in hockey, you know, that has been passed down from generation to generation. Yeah, Henri Richard. I don't have him on this list, but we could possibly do him later, just because it's just like kind of the same name. It's pretty similar. There are definitely some glaring omissions, I will say, but I wanted to, you know, keep things kind of varied on here. So SAA or SAA. Let's do a very, very healthy A ranking, but if a lot more people are grading out in A, then we will elevate the Rocket. You like Pocket Rocket more, but still an S. And I mean, somebody pointed out, as Inari tries to keep moving my mic stand here, they did actually name the Canadiens affiliate after him too. It's the Laval Rocket, so, but still an S. Okay. All right, let's go with Ovechkin. I'm not saying Ovi for Ovechkin because that's just, you know, it's just I know it's a nickname, right? But I'll say the Great Eight or Alexander the Great. Or Alexander the Great. There we go. Justin says, "Hey, Justin, good to have you here, man." You know what? I'm sorry. I gotta put Richard in S. I got to make it a little editor's choice there. And I mean, we had a couple S's in the last one, so I think that's fair. Everybody's thinking A so far for the grade 8. Okay. Cool. I think that we can comfortably put Ovechkin right there. All right. All right. Now we've got Rod the Bod Brind'Amour, known for his impeccable conditioning. And there he is lifting his lone Stanley Cup in 06. Rod the Bod as a B. B for the Bod for Brind'Amour. Rod the Bod Brind'Amour. C or D. I can kind of see that. The Bod, it's just kind of awkward sounding. But I think that the alliteration with Brind'Amour makes it a little bit better. So we will put Rod the Bod in the B tier. All right. Now, we've got Gretzky. We've got the great one. I'm just going to put the great one. You guys know who he is. Where do we put the great one? That's all there is to it. I wonder when he started actually being referred to as the great one. Yeah, S tier. You're going to take some heat for this. C. Oh, C. That might have to knock him down a peg. Very fitting, of course. Interesting. Easy with the claws there, Inari. All right, let's go with. I'm S tier as well. I'm saying S. So I think that it would still grade out as an S, albeit at the end of S. From the great one, we transition to the magnificent one, but really, it is Super Mario. So you can choose whichever of the two nicknames you like more. You can choose that one, but I would say that Super Mario is probably the one that I would choose. Jake says B. Good, but not great. Oh, hey, what's up, Russell? Thanks for joining us, man. We're only about 7 weeks away from the regular season. Hooray. A, it was fitting for the time when it was relevant with pop culture. Boom. And that's exactly why I think it should be graded pretty high as well. So we'll put this in the low A tier right about here. Yeah. Cool. All right. Now, after Lemieux, we have not just Brett Hull. So this one's going to be a package because they're based on one another. So we've got the Golden Jet, the Golden Jet and the Golden Brett. So this one I'm bundling together. It is the father-son Bunduru. Bobby Hull, the Golden Jet for his flowing mane, and the Golden Brett for his son. Jet A, Brett C. Dean says A. Theo says C. I'm thinking about prospects camps week 2 of September. Yeah. I guess if you're not like following the NFL or something, you gotta cling to that, as my cat needs to have her claws trimmed. So yeah, we've got some A's and some C's and a B. I think it grades out to a B on average. Original for D, easy way out for Brett C. Ooh, original for D. Huh. Okay. I'll say I think we have to put this in B, but not very high up. Okay, I'm a Niners fan. Oh, for real? That was the team I grew up watching a little bit, and then I became for original for the dad. I got it. And then I became a Vikings fan. But yeah. All right, so Billy Smith Billy Smith won, all 4 Stanley Cups with the Islanders, and he was known as Hatchet Man. I don't know why. Maybe because that mask that he used to wear was kind of creepy. But yeah, I mean, Hatchet Man. There he is. It's kind of a weird nickname. I don't know if it was culturally relevant, but I think it's kind of cool. Jake's not sold though. C's, D's, D for sure. All right. I would be cool putting it in C, but I don't think that we're going to have... You're going to put it in A? All right. I will say, to me, it's like C maybe. It might be like bordering on D, but I don't think we're going to be getting this many D's. And never heard him called that before. I think I've heard it like one time, but I don't know. It's kind of unique. I like it. But we'll put it in D. All right. Now we've got Moose, Mark Messier, or the Messiah. So you can use either nickname. D's what? Yeah, I know, right? Moose or the Messiah. Was he even called the Messiah when he was in Edmonton, or was that just when he was in New York? I don't know. Hate to give it to him, but S? Wow, that good, eh? D, C. Any other opinions? C. Marcus Foligno's Moose. He looks like a moose. C, we're going C tier. All right. We'll put Moose in C tier. Somebody he probably played against a few times in his career is the Finnish Flash, Teemu Selanne. The Finnish Flash, and you might say that he was really the first Finnish star in the NHL. You got a roll? Okay. Thank you, Theo. AA, B or C, AA. Dean says, yeah. All right. This one's pretty easy. I think that Teemu's got a grade out high. I'm going to put the Finnish Flash right here next to the grade 8. You'll go B. Okay. Yeah, that's still pretty much averaging out to an A grade. All right. Now, this is actually 2 different players, but they had the same name and they played in the same era, I'm pretty sure. So this is Bob Kelly. So Bob Kelly and Bob Kelly. their nickname. Bob Kelly. This one right here was known as Hound Dog, or the Scourge of the Red Army. Mrs. Twister was a huge fan of hearing that one, as he was a pain in the ass to play against when the Flyers faced off against the Red Army Soviet team. And another one would be also Battleship. Battleship was the other guy. Battleship Bob was another one. So basically, choose any of those nicknames that you want, and it could apply to both Bob Kellys. Hound Dog, the Scourge of the Red Army, Battleship Bob. I think there were a couple other nicknames for Hound Dog, but I think that's what he was known as the most. No comment. Oh, harsh. Very unmemorable. See, this is like the CFL, Saskatchewan Roughriders and Ottawa Roughriders. Oh, whoa, there are two teams called the Roughriders? Wasn't one called the Roughnecks, or am I just thinking of a different football league? All right, are we thinking C on this guy, but like low C? All right. It's going to be low C, I guess. Only one D. All right. We're moving right along. Okay, the next one is for Scott Stevens, and it's also for Wendell Clark, because they both went by Captain Crunch. They had two teams back in the day called the Rough Riders. Oh, and a 6-team league. Yeah, that's lame. Captain Crunch, Stevens, and Wendell Clark. I could definitely attest to Stevens being Captain Crunch, but I didn't get to watch Wendell Clark. Be a low A or a B. Great pick. Yeah. It's not the hit on Korea, but it is a hit. D, because it cuts the top of your mouth when you eat it. What? Oh, Captain Crunch. Yeah, that's true. It does that. It's a really good topping for frozen yogurt, though. All right. We're gonna put this one in B. It's pretty much in the middle of all of this. All right. Now we get to a current day player, and I can finally spell his damn name, and that is Arbor Jackeye, aka Wi-Fi. Where's this grade for you guys? Wi-Fi. Because every hit is a good connection. I don't know. C, but he could go up. I'd probably have him. I'm thinking personally, Wi-Fi. It's funny since it's like, if you don't know how to say his name, it's like, or if you don't remember it, you would just say Wi-Fi. His name looks like a Wi-Fi password. Actually, if you recall, that's funny. I would probably say C by default, but I would very comfortably accept a B ranking for him. CSA. I'm like high C here. Anybody else want to weigh in? Do we have anybody else, or is it just us? Did YouTube just not tell people that we're live right now? This is why I couldn't do YouTube. All right. Well, anyway, let's go B, law of average. All right. Thank you, Russell. All right. Let's go. We'll go right. We're gonna go right here. That's fine. All right. Now we've got Crankshaft Douglas Murray, or Cranky, who was known for thundering hits and holding his own pretty damn well in scraps. I would say that out of any Sharks player, I think that he's got the best nickname in our franchise. Crankshaft, big time fan favorite. Hard D. Any does that have anything to do with his with the nickname itself? Okay. Or he would also just be called Cranky. Any thoughts? Okay, so B. Okay, all right. Cranky is going to be a B. We'll put him right next to Brenda Moore and Stevens. Love Douglas Murray. All right, now this one's going to be interesting. I've heard this used for Brad Marchand as well, but it is most known with Pat Verbeek, the little ball of hate. Because he wasn't like a super small. Actually, no, he was only like 5'9", but he would be an absolute pest out there. A little ball of hate. I don't know. It doesn't really roll off the tongue, but it's goofy, and I like it. You hope Marchand's on this list? Well, that's one nickname that I've heard used with Brad Marchand. So maybe we could include him later. B. I might have to be our tiebreaker here. Dobby says hi. Oh, thank you, Cortana. Here, let's give Cortana a treat just because we got a Dobby in the chat here. Here, girl. How about a treat? Psst. Come here. All right, come here. Here we go. Ready? There you go. Come on. That's a good girl. All right. Not sure if you could see that. All right, we're gonna put the little ball of hate's gonna be right up here, with Joe Vocop. Matter of fact, I'll give him a little bit more respect. I'll put him up here. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you could actually see her there. All right, now we're gonna get to Cam Neely. So Cam Neely, aka Bam Bam Cam. He had a couple other nicknames or like variations of it, just Bam Bam Cam. I like Bam Bam Cam. I think that's the best version of it. Cam Neely. Long time been a part of the Bruins organization too. Also known as the Canucks' worst trade. Yeah, it's definitely up there. Definitely up there. I also think of Cam Chancellor. Yeah, that guy could bring the Bam Bam, couldn't he? All right, we're doing a lot of B's, and that's fine. But and yeah, and I'd probably have it like more like C tier. I like how easy it is to say though. So we'll add Bam Bam in the B. All right, this one I have a feeling is not going to be in the B tier, and that's Gordie Howe, Mr. Hockey. All right, great job, everybody. We all did our homework. He almost should have his own tier, right? Here, there we go. That's how it's done. All right. Cortana, do you need to go outside? Are you okay? Or are you just want goodies? No can do, buckaroo. All right. This one I absolutely had to put on this one, or on this ranking, and that is Al Iafrate, aka Wild Thing, rocking the skullet. Farmer Shark, actually. Yeah, he was kind of before my time, but he played for Washington most of his career and Toronto, and a little pit stop with the Sharks. Wild Thing. And I think that was issued to him around the time that Major League came out. So, and as astutely pointed out by Mrs. Twister, hell of a shot. Yeah, that's what I hear. I didn't get to watch him. BBAC. I'm along the lines of like A. Personally, I think that has to get ranked pretty high. Hey, what's up, Toria? Happy to have you here. We are rolling along with these rankings, so hopefully you can jump in. But we can. There we go. Put Wild Thing up there. We can also do other nicknames because we're moving so fast that we don't need to only stay to this list. If you guys prefer. All right, now we move on to the Hamburglar, Andrew Hammond, who had who was a bit of a folk hero, to use a Shannon term, with the Senators primarily. Andrew Hammond, the Hamburglar. Jake's already on top of it. He said you need 2 S's for this guy. Yeah, it's a pretty great name. How he basically robs shooters of goals. Theo's not impressed. All right, SSADA. Can we get another vote or two? Also, if you'd be so kind to leave a like if you haven't already, I would appreciate that, because maybe YouTube will finally get its act together. Gonna forget this as soon as we move on. All right, well, that's good. I mean, I'm glad that you stay true to your opinion. That's important here. But with 2 A's and an S, I might have to at least. Nah, with a D, we can't put it that high. Even though I want to put this at least in B myself. I don't know. I just can't do it. If there's a D in this case with this few votes, then I gotta be as fair as I can be. All right, now we've got the Hammer Dave Schultz, who was the I guess the poster child of the Broad Street Bullies in the early era of Bobby Clark. You also, of course, had Hound Dog Bob Kelly and a couple other rough and tough guys. But Dave Schultz still has the record for most penalty minutes in a season with over 400. I think that's his record still. All D? What? Really? He also made a record. Yeah. And oh boy. Well, at least he tried.
Baby, how long you gonna keep me in the penalty box?
Yeah, I found out about that when I was making that video on the Broad Street Bullies a while back. All right, SCA, all D. I have a beer in me. Well, at least you don't have a D in you. All right. No, I'm just joking. All right. You know what? Screw it then. Screw it. Absolutely screw it. We're putting the Hamburglar in A, and we're gonna put Dave Schultz in A too. SCADB. Okay. We'll dial it back. We'll put him at the front of A. There we go. It's a novelty, but kind of fun. Yeah. I didn't know he did a full album. I thought it was just a song. All right. And this is somebody I would actually listen to on an album, especially with a nickname like Bobby Lou Roberto Luongo. Now, granted, it is just like a variation of his name, but it's kind of unique. It's not just like, Taser for Jonathan Taves. It's Bobby freaking Lou. Or you can even say, Stromboni from his social media accounts. There can only be one Bobby Lou. CCB, high B. I'm more in the B category. We do have a couple C's, which I do respect that as well. It's nowhere near the top for me. It's solid. But yeah, with the rankings that we have here, we gotta probably put this toward the end of the B tier, understandably. All right, we move on to one of the greatest of all time. You can almost sing his name to Barbara Really? Yeah, that's true, actually. All right, so now we've got the perfect human, Nicholas Lidstrom. I don't know exactly why, but I would assume that it's because he could do no wrong. He didn't really commit too many penalties, very gentlemanly, and he executed his defensive game to a T and was also offensively very productive. So I think that's probably why he was called the perfect human. Torius says A, Theos says D, Dean says D, F, not a nickname, IMO. You know, so there were a couple lists that I looked at that had him on there for one of the best. But when I saw that, I was like, you know what? I personally do not like this nickname. Not to say it doesn't suit Nick Lidstrom. It's just not a fun nickname to say. I can't justify putting it any higher than C. But if we have a D, an A, D, probably another D, a C, and yeah, it's got nothing to do with our own sentiments toward Lidstrom. It's just not a great nickname. All right. Now we go on to the guy whose jersey I'm wearing, even though he never was captain. For some reason, this has a C on it. And that is, you can either know Lafleur as the flower or Le Demon Blanc, the blonde demon. A demon, excuse me. So you get to you pick whichever nickname you like, or if you want to combine both into your opinion, that's what as well. That's fine too. What do we think of the flower, Guy Lafleur, or Le Demon Blanc? SCBCB. All right, that makes things kind of challenging. Yeah. I mean, just about everybody was smoking back then. I personally think this needs to be an A, but law of averages puts this once again kind of in the middle of things. Sorry, where did I just put him? Right about there. Right about there. All right. We go on to Mr. Game 7, Justin Williams. Now, Justin Williams, at least according to sources, aka ChatGPT, I asked ChatGPT, how many goals and assists does Justin Williams have in Game 7? In 9 career Game 7s, Justin Williams has 7 goals and 8 assists for 15 points. Personally, to me, this is the Mr. October of nicknames in hockey. So personally, I actually really like this one, even though it's not like the most mellifluous of nicknames. Not even F. Ouch. A, I kind of love it. Yeah. I love it too, but hey, if it doesn't sound that fun to say, then I respect that too. B A F D. Damn, it's tough. It looks like we just got another B. I mean, everybody's opinion is more than valid here. All right. Come on down. We've got Ryan Lomberg, the Lamborghini. Captain Clutch. There's no Captain Clutch as far as I know, because he was never captain. Ryan Lomberg, the Lamborghini. I don't know. Just hearing Steve Goldstein say that just puts a smile on my face. D, unfortunately. A, C, A. Are we going back to? Is this going to be B as well? I need to knock some of these down a peg or something. Williams was captain. Oh, really? Oh, wait. That was at the end of his career, right? Not his first go around with the team, of course. Well, thank you for the education. Oop. Yeah, second stand. Okay. DACA. I don't know, man. Being known as Mr. Game 7 is pretty damn awesome, though. What are we going to do? It's just kind of like somewhere right here. If we're doing law of averages, it kind of sucks. Like 2/3 of our rankings are in here, but all right. Theo said, or excuse me, Russ says C. We're gonna put it in C then. We're gonna do it. We'll do it. We'll put one in C. All right. Now we've got Boom Boom Bernie Jeffrey on. So we had Bam Bam, but what about Boom Boom? We got to be more opinion. Well, everybody's opinionated. It's just that some people really, really like something, and some people are like, no, not at all. So then you take the average of that, and that's a B. He invented the slap shot. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining in. Wait, I can't remember if the last time I was like, wait, is your name Thomas? Just you have a C at the beginning of your name for fun? Well, anyway, I'm happy to have you here. Oh man, see, look at that. S B C C S. Thomas, I'm gonna need your take on this one. Boom Boom Jeffrey on. Chance. Thank you, man. It's also the profile pic that kind of throws me off. All right. But we need to take a stance here. Are we just going to be okay with another B tier? Or are we going to elevate this sucker? I'm going to give Boom Boom Jeffrey on an A personally. And if we have a couple of S's, I think that's good enough to put Boom Boom Jeffrey on in A tier. Make it A. All right. At the very end of the A. It's not the Hamburglar. All right. Now we move on to... Can anybody tell who the next guy is? There's a reason why I don't actually have him in a uniform, and that's Ilya Brizgalov, a.k.a. Mr. Universe. One of the most quirky characters in hockey history. I mean, he's a goalie, right? Pretty much all goalies are characters in one way or another. C or D, C or A. Why you have to be mad on only game? Why you got to be mad? C nickname S tier interviewer. Okay. Mr. Universe, we love you, but you're going to go in C. All right. Let's move on to another fighter here. I only we move on to Chris Nyland, a.k.a. Knuckles. I couldn't find a good photo in color of him fighting. But, yeah, with a name like Knuckles, you better be able to drop the gloves. So, Chris Nyland, Knuckles. And C. Russ is a little bit more convinced. Dean says A. I'm kind of on board with A. I think that's just a, to the point nickname. Did we pass the rat yet? Which rat? That's the problem. We didn't have Ken Linsman on here. Anybody would be afraid of Bear? David Montgomery is Knuckles. Last year he was, at least. Not after this year. No, I don't know. All right, so ACAB. All right. I was thinking A tier personally. Brad Marchand is the rat forever, more so than Ken Linsman. All right, you know what? We're gonna do not S tier. We're gonna put him in A tier. We gotta have some more A's. Dave Schultz also goes in A. We're gonna do it. All right. Need to split things up a little bit. All right, let's move on. We're talking about like 60, 70 years ago. Terrible Ted Lindsay, part of the Red Wings production line. Well, yeah, like I said, if you guys want to do like Brad Marchand later and Jonathan Taves later, I can add them in here as well. I should be able to. So you'll just have to hang on for the end of the rankings. Terrible Ted Lindsay. Okay, A, B minus, S, B, B. Personally, I think that this is one of the great early nicknames because not too often you would have a player actually have a notorious nickname like that. You would have Eddie Shore, one of the dirtiest players of all time, was known as the Edmonton Express. So, but I think that, yeah, Connor McDavid, we could also include him. I think, though, that terrible Ted Lindsay is, personally, I'd put him in A, if not, he's close to, I'd put him in a high A. I think he's good enough to land right about here. Wrath, you can check. Nobody calls him that, though. McDavid doesn't have an iconic nickname. Yeah, it's just McJesus. I mean, like, that's fine. I call him that. Who doesn't call him McJesus? But yeah, Kirill the Thrill. I thought about him. We got other Ethan in the building. What's up, McJesus? Okay, all right. We've only got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 8 players, and then we can do some more if you guys want. Okay, because we've only been live for what 45 minutes. Perfect. So let's press on with the boogeyman, Derek Boogaard. Rest in peace. And, you know, this is early into my time really getting into hockey. I never saw anybody fight like Derek Boogaard. That guy, if I were on the ice, I'd be scared shitless of him. S-A-S-A, yeah. Derek Boogaard definitely belongs in S tier. Right there. I think, yeah. Yeah, about there. I love it. I love it, guys. That's great. All right. We move on to Pavel Datsyuk, the Magic Man, a.k.a. Houdini. I don't remember him being called Houdini, but definitely the Magic Man. How about Probert? Considering he was only known as Proby, right? So I've kind of omitted anybody who just had an extension of their name or a shortening of their name like that. Because then that list would be just endless. The only one who came close to the boogeyman was the late Rick Rippon. Love Datsyuk, C, B, but I'm okay with A. I think that, you know, it definitely fits Datsyuk very well. S, C, B, D. And Torius is B. Only one D, though. Okay, so S, S. Dean, I almost freaking forgot yours. I'm sorry. So S, S, C, B, D, B. Looking like a B, frankly. Looking like a B. Right about here. Right about here. All right. We'll move on. Sid the Kid Crosby. What about this one? I just like how it is so short. It is 3 words. It is 3 letters in each word. It's just very it's punchy. Sid the Kid. And it's kind of like Billy the Kid, right? Which I also like, you know. S-A, yeah. It's only gotten better with age. I agree. I think so too. Sid is going way up in the S tier. Yeah. I would say that Sid the Kid is actually almost a better nickname than like the Great One. I'd personally probably say the Rocket after Mr. Hockey, and then Sid the Kid's right up there, but great job. All right. Then we got the Dominator, Dominik Hasek, who in some circles is the greatest goaltender of all time. I don't know if I could say that, but in our lifetime, nobody was more electric in goal than the Dominator. Yeah, high A, S. Okay. I was thinking A myself, but that's enough to get him easily in the S tier. Definitely. Okay, we got 4 more. We got Huggy Bear Quinn Hughes. Does Hasek have a Conn Smythe, though? No. No, he doesn't. No, Patrick Waugh has... I forgot. He won 4 cups? Yeah, he won 4 cups. And I think he had 3 Conn Smythes. So you were the one, I think, who told me that, too. Huggy Bear or Cue Ball? Really? Lebowski is not sold on this. A, I think it's so funny, Huggy Bear. Love you, Quinn, but I like the letter on your jersey. C. Toria goes A. I think that there needs to be a nickname like that in hockey today. I don't know if Quinn Hughes is the best for that so much, but I've never seen him like I can't recall his like interview personality, I suppose. So let's try this again. So S D A C A. I already counted yours earlier, Russ. Don't cheat. I'm just joking with you. Huggy Bear, you're gonna get in the good enough to be at the front of the B tier, but not quite. Not quite. We got a D and a C. Yeah. He's like interviewing a robot. I guess Huggy Bear is a good nickname then for somebody, ironically, but please be healthy for Team USA. Let's go. All right. Now this one is an abbreviation of his name, but it actually takes on a different form, and that is Cujo Curtis Joseph, who in some circles should be in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Cujo. Couple of S's off the hop. Damn. All right. I'm thinking more like I'd be cool with A, but the tribe has spoken, so let's go with S. And we're gonna put him up here. Reminds you of the Stephen King book, exactly, and that's the of course the mask design that he had. All right, we got 2 more on my list, and then we can maybe add in some more if you guys want. So we got Big Bird, Larry Robinson, who was, despite this very nice smile, was actually a pretty tough customer to go up against. He could fight. He was wonderful in his own zone. And yeah, he stood out like Big Bird among his teammates, but he was among the great leaders of his time. And certainly in that conversation is maybe one of the best 5 defensemen to ever play the game. A or B, A, B, A. Okay. Any other takers? Russ says C. All right. Then I will, let's see, Jumbo Joe S. I wouldn't even have Jumbo as an S. I don't know. It has a good ring to it. Sure. I'm gonna put Big Bird in A tier. This one is C. Okay. We'll drop him down to B tier. Fine. If we got a couple of C's, then couple C's, then we can't quite give him that. Jumbo Joe, yeah. Is that what we want to do, Jumbo Joe? As I used a different picture. Hey, I was at that game. Well, it's not the All-Star game. I was probably at that game, though. I was a half-season holder. Jumbo Joe's going to be an S? Oh, you guys are too nice. I don't even think that it's that great of a nickname. I don't know, but I love Jumbo, so we'll definitely put him in S. Not ahead of Hasek. Russ says, Fine. He's at the head of S, or head of A. Good with me. Okay. Well, you guys, shoot. We already we got through all 40 of these. Nice job. Do you want to do more? If so, give me some players in the chat. I know we already had a few, but let's figure out who we're going to do next. And then I'll get some photos of them and upload them onto here. Yeah? Wild Bill, consider it done. All right, let's see here. We'll get... Okay. Jonathan Taves, Captain Sirius, Kirill Kaprizov. Sure. All right. If you got any more suggestions, I'll entertain at least a few more. Let me get Jonathan Taves. Captain Sirius. Pasta for Pasternak. I was debating that, but kind of like Cujo, right? Even though it's an abbreviation of his name, it takes on a different meaning. So I will definitely get Pasternak in there. Gus Bus for Philip Gustafsson or Gustav. I think Gustav Nyquist might have been called Gus Bus as well. I can't remember. Any other suggestions? Tyler Myers, Chaos Giraffe. Okay, I didn't know. Boom Boom Bieksa. All right, I will do Tyler Myers. Boom Boom. Actually, Boom Boom's a good nickname for Bieksa, even though we've already used it. Because that guy was just running into a brick. Not the biggest guy out there, but damn, you were running into a brick. Sid the Kid, top tier as always. Good timing. Let's see here. Who else do we want to have? The Flower for Marc-Andre Fleury. All right. We will do Flower for Marc-Andre Fleury, even though we already did Guy Lafleur. We'll get Fleury in there. We'll pay him some respects now that he is in retirement. Chaos Giraffe is Tyler Myers. Okay. Anybody else that we want to do? Okay. Panda for Robin Leonard. Oh, interesting. All right. I'll put him on there because there's only one Panda in hockey. So, although it is that cannot be on the same tier. If we're doing sports nicknames, it would not be on the same tier as Kung Fu Panda. Skadoosh. All right. Let's see here. Oh, Sharks first more hockey nicknames. All right. Boom. Oh, wait, we already did Robinson. Don't worry about Larry Robinson being on here. He's on here twice. Philip Gustafsson, the Gus Bus. Okay. I'll throw him on there too. You know who I meant to also put on here is Artemi Panarin, the bread man. Artemi Panarin. Okay. All right. Pedersen was alien. Yeah. The Breadman S+. Okay. Yeah, Mrs. Twister was not convinced by that one. All right, what else? Who else we got? Panarin, Gustafsson, oh no, we already got Leonard. That's right. All right. Let's do Tyler Myers. Chaos Giraffe? Tyler Myers. Definitely a giraffe. $29 is better than 97. Some would say, yeah, maybe in the playoffs, but after McDavid got the Conn Smythe, yeah, you can't do anything else. You can't say anything else. It's still McDavid over Draisaitl, but Draisaitl is, I mean, what? He's easily a first ballot Hall of Famer, and yeah. All right, are we going S tier for Tyler freaking Myers? I'll give it a decent grade for creativity. We're actually going to do this, huh? We're actually going to put Tyler Myers in an S tier for something. And it's not Calder Trophy winners. Okay. Fair enough. Wild Bill Carlson. Nobody knows what to think. Yeah, really. All right. Wild Bill William Carlson. We like fun? Yeah. We have to have very, very calculated fun here, you know? No, I don't know what I'm saying. Pure talent, best in the... Okay. Has to be, for pure talent, Nathan McKinnon. I respect that opinion. I mean, no, I think Nate is arguably the most enjoyable player to watch. But Makar might be in a lot of circles. SABB, the Sedin sisters. Oh God, says the Bruins fan. SABBS. I would probably have Wild Bill William Carlson. We already had Wild Thing Al Iafrate, so to me, I think I had Iafrate in A tier, so I can't give Wild Bill a higher rating than that per se. But I'm cool with putting him in. I'm cool with him going in the A tier, but he's not going ahead of Knuckles Nyland. Bobby Lou, we already got Bobby Lou. S the dog. I was thinking about Nathan McKinnon as Nate Dogg. All right. Next up is Captain Serious. I will say I like that more than Showtime for Patrick Kane. Because when I think of Showtime and sports, I think of the Lakers. And that's its own thing. Captain Serious. S for Serious. SAABA. Okay. Captain Serious. I'm good with A. I'm good with a very solid A. You can't be any higher than Terrible Ted, though. Yeah, between an S and a bunch of A's and B's, I think he's gonna warrant an A. All right, what about Pasta for David Pasternak? Personally, I'm gonna have to knock it down a peg. It's low hanging fruit, but that's just my thought, I guess. My nickname for Kane, the Mullet Man, so it's for Yager. The weird thing is Yager kind of had the nickname of the Ageless Wonder. He was also called Mario Jr., but like when we think of hockey nicknames, like Yager isn't at the front of those names. SSCDC. Yeah, for me, Pasta in this case is a low-hanging fruit. We'll at least put him at the front of the C tier, though. We'll put him at the front of the C tier. Because I would also probably have it and C myself. Okay, now, what about Flower for Marc-Andre Fleury? I mean, if he's got Fleur in his name, fair, right? But it's not. I can't put him higher than Guy Lafleur, personally. Evan Bouchard. Well, there were many Bushes before them. SAAS. Damn. All right. More of a B for me, but I'm cool with putting that up here. Fleury can hang out next to Lemieux. That's fine. They were teammates, were they not, for like 1 year? All right. Now we go on to we already did Cujo. My bad. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Dollar Bill Kirill or Kirill the Thrill. Although we know the thrill in sports is Will the Thrill Clark, but all right, Kirill the Thrill or Dollar Bill Kirill. S plus. be a flower actually roomed with Lemieux before Sid. Interesting. CS. Damn. Got a lot of S's here. I guess we got to put it in A. I would probably have it low B myself, but I'm cool with A tier, I suppose. All right. What about Panda or the Panda for Robin Lehner? I mean, I gotta at least give some kudos if you're gonna actually have the nickname Panda. I mean, nobody wants to be a panda in hockey per se. For me, it's a C. It's a C. DAAC. Anybody else? All right. 2 A's, a C, and a D, and I have it as a C myself. So we will see him over to the front of the C tier. Actually, no, you don't get to go ahead of Pasta. No, I wouldn't dare. All right, we did Larry Robinson. All right, let's do the Breadman. Breadman. But you've got the great one, the Finish Flash, then there's just the Panda. I'm not sure I'm following along. All right, SBABB. I'm thinking probably to the front of the B tier then. I'm cool with that. But you're not Huggy Bear. Actually, no. You don't get to go ahead of Big Bird either. All right. And then Gus Bus for Philip Gustafson. Ones that are synonymous with the player rate higher. Generally speaking, yeah. I guess if you're a bust, you want to be a goaltender. Well, actually, not necessarily. Buses do get up to speed every century or two. A plus C, B, A. Interesting. You guys like this one. Well, I'm not. I can't say that I think it's anything unique or clever so much, but we can throw it up in the BZ. I'd probably have it. I'd have it lower. All right. Any other names we should rank here? Can anybody think of anything else? I forgot the goat, the Yak Attack, Niall Yakupov. Was he actually called the Yak Attack? I gotta look it up on Hockey Reference. Yakupov. Holy crap, he was Yak Attack. Okay, let's put Niall Yakupov on here. That is so funny. Can I even find okay, actually that's a good size photo. Oh, it's blurry as hell. Whatever. Not on tier maker because it's gonna be sized down. Yakupov. All right. Anybody else? The Sedin sisters. Oh, that's not nice. All right. We're gonna do Yakupov. Bieksa was also juiced because he looked roided. All right. So what are we gonna do for Yakupov? Yak Attack, or what else? Or just the Yak? How are we gonna grade this? Wonder what the hell that guy's been up to. Does he even play in the KHL anymore? Let me take a quick look. Niall Yakupov. Born in 1993. Man, it's crazy. Like the top prospects in the NHL now are born in like 2007. Bro, I was in college. My old ass. Let's see here. Yakupov still plays in the KHL. Last year with Omsk, he had 17 goals, 21 assists in 43 games. Not bad. Not bad. We old. Yeah, for sure. ACBD. Bedsy for no, we're not doing Bedsy or Schultzy or anything like that. Then this damn thing is never gonna end. Did I just see Riverton? Yeah, we need the Riverton rifle. Yes, Ethan, I agree. Absolutely agree. All right, Yakupov, you can get. Have I done the ESPN Sports Misery Index? No. So you're saying for like all the major leagues, basically? That'd be actually kind of fun to do. The Rant Man for Rantanen? I don't think I've ever heard of. I heard Mikko Rantanen's called the Moose. I know that. Wait. Who did I say we're gonna do? Reggie Leach. I mean, I'm cool with that. Of course, not too many people here are all that knowledgeable as it pertains to Reggie Leach, but he was the Riverton Rifle. Played for the Broad Street Bullies. Haven't done Marchand. Okay, let's do Brad Marchand. But like, is it just the Rat? I guess we could also call Ken Linsman that. And then what about Matthew Tkachuk as the Rat King? We'll put both of them in here. How about that, guys? All right. Hold up now. Victoria, hey, thanks for jumping in. Hope you're having a good week and are ready for another 50 days until the regular season. All right. Let's do, we're going to start with the Rat. So we're going to say that Marchand is the Rat, and then Tkachuk is the Rat King. At a church retreat as you speak. Oh, wow. And you're taking time out of your evening to say hello to us. That's awesome. Wow. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay. Russ knocks it down the list a little bit, but yeah, we'll have Marchand there. Wait a minute. A jab at Boston? No. I mean, hey, he just won a Stanley Cup with Florida. You get to chill and get ready for bed. All right, cool. Well, I hope that we are augmenting your chill experience. All right. Well, hey, we appreciate you being here, even if it's just to say hello. Johnny Hockey. Oh man, that's tough because it's like obviously. I mean, we'll always remember Gaudreau's Johnny Hockey. Even though that was kind of like coming in at the time of Johnny Manziel, at least it aged aged decently. Let's do Gaudreau next. Johnny Hockey. Let me type that in the chat. Marshy is Master Splinter. High AS. All right now. Yeah, we'll have him next to Bugard. Gone way too soon. All right then. All right, let's do Matthew Tkachuk as the Rat King. Speaking of Matthew, what about Austin Matthews as Poppy? Let's see here. S.A. Maybe recency. No, undeserved nickname. A. It's pretty freaking funny that he's called that. A. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say A tier. I'm gonna say A tier. We got some S's, yeah. But no, I cannot put you up there with Tyler Myers. That's just not fair. I think it's deserved for what he's done in Florida. I guess you could say the same for Sam Bennett. All right, let's do Poppy. Austin Matthews, who is part Latino. San Ramon, California native Austin Matthews. Under D tier. B. I'd probably say for me, I'd probably say C. Looks like Poppy will still fall right about here. Right about here. Okay, anybody else we want to rank? Any other suggestions? So yeah, we got what? How many guys do we have in S? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10 guys in the S tier. That's great because we did like 50 nicknames. So we got Mr. Hockey, Sid the Kid, Cujo. You guys love that one. The Great One, the Rocket. Really, the Rocket didn't grade as well as some of these other ones. The Boogeyman. That's pretty awesome. Gaudreau, Johnny Hockey, the Rat, the Dominator, the Rocket, and Chaos Giraffe Tyler Myers. Mr. Shark, Mr. San Jose Shark. The one reason why I wouldn't put Patty in this is because like that's only really the nickname that he's known by among the Sharks. You know, it's not like a nickname that he's known by with the hockey community so much. I don't know. Most of the best ones we took care of. Okay. All right. Sorry to Nick Lidstrom and Billy Smith. Little Pavs. I'd rather the big Pavelski for Joe Pavelski. That's pretty good. All right. Well, if there's nothing else pressing, I'll turn you loose for the evening. Thanks for doing this, guys. I wish that we had more people, but then again, your votes mattered more, and you were very opinionated, and I like that very much as well. So cheers to that, and have a great rest of your week. If you have any more suggestions, especially for live streams, you know, ways that we can get people more interested in that, let me know. There's still other video content that it's kind of hard to work on just because I got a day job now. So hopefully I can pick that up again pretty soon, even though I'm going to go see Pantera this upcoming weekend along with Amon Amarth outside of Portland. But we'll do this again. Probably like every other week, more or less. And we'll have, member streams at about that same cadence as well. That seems to be pretty comfortable for me so far. Always subject to change, but I like the way it's going right now. Rate hockey movies. Yes, we should do that. And speaking of hockey movies, I recently saw Minor Leaguer with Temu and Brett Hull. No fault to those guys, but that movie is god awful. But we'd have some good ones to definitely choose from. So let's do hockey movies sometime, or we can do that for a member stream. So good night. Let's here. Wait, one more second. Let's get Cortana back for her to say goodbye. Okay, Cortana, treat. All right. Yeah, here we go. Go, come here, treat. 1 treat, 2 treats. Come here, kiss. All right, that's good enough. Come on. That's a girl. Good girl. Sorry to blind you by the whiteness of my legs, but you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon.